All right, today we are going to talk about two-point perspective and how we can use that to show depth in an image. In this case, we're going to talk about setting up a cityscape. The first thing you want to do is draw a horizon line that goes from the left to the right of your page, the whole way across your paper. Try to make this slightly above or slightly below the center of your paper. It tends to look a little strange if it's right in the middle. Once you have that line drawn, you want to make a mark very close to the edge of the line on each side. You can put a little dash like this, you can put an X. This is going to be your vanishing point. So two-point perspective has two vanishing points. Our next step is going to be to add a vertical line somewhere around the middle of your page. It can be in the center, it can be slightly off to the center like this one. This is going to be the front corner of my first building. Once I have that drawn, I need to decide how tall my building is going to be. So I'm going to choose a point above my horizon line for the top of my building, and I'm going to connect that point to each of my vanishing points. Then I want to pick a spot below my horizon line. That's going to be the bottom of my building, and I'm going to do the same, connect that to each of my vanishing points. Once I have that drawn, I need to decide how wide my building is going to be. So I have my center line drawn, I have my lines going to my vanishing points. What I'm going to do is choose a distance. In this case, we went right here and draw a vertical line that starts on that line and goes straight up and down and stops on this line. That's going to give me this side of the building. I want to do the same thing over here. Choose a distance. It's up to you. It could be a longer building, it could be a shorter building. But start on that angled line and draw a line straight up and down that stops on the bottom. That's going to give me the basic shape for my building. When you set up your other buildings, you want to start with the same process. So I'm going to draw a vertical line. That's going to be the front corner, and then decide how tall it's going to be. Connect that to each of the vanishing points. Now notice, as you go further back, you're going to have some buildings overlap. Remember, overlapping is a method that we use to create depth. So what you can do is, when you run into that other building, stop, because this building is in front and this building is behind it. So anything back here I can't see because this main building's blocking it. You want to create buildings on both sides of your central building, and you can keep going further and further back. Once you have the basic shapes of your buildings drawn in, you need to start to think about what kind of details are going to be on the building. But we're not worried about the details yet, just the structures of them. What I mean by that is, I'm not worried about what small details are in a window, more so the shape of the window. So whether that's a square or a rectangle, all of those things need to also be in perspective. So in this case, I could start to set up small boxes for all of my windows. Those boxes still need to have the same perspective. Say there was going to be a sign up here for the name on the building. Say it was PNC Bank. Those letters and that sign still need to be in perspective. So I'm going to start just by drawing a large rectangle, and then I can fit my letters inside of that. Once you've drawn out all of your basic shapes for your details, you can start to go back in and add in things like letters on signs, details to the windows like a small ledge here, or if you're going to add curtains, things to doors like doorknobs and signs and handles. Remember, the closer the building is to you, to this central building, this is the closest one to me, the more details I should be able to see. The farther away something is, the less details I'm going to be able to see because it's farther away. So in this case, I can see the hinges, I can see doorknobs. In this case, I can barely tell that there's a door there. Remember to start with something simple. We're just trying to learn the process. All I'm looking for from you is that you show me the steps that you're learning the process. Like I tell you guys all the time, if you choose something simple and you do it really well, that can be way more impressive than choosing something really difficult that's much easier to screw up. Okay, so start with the center, work your way out, choose simple shapes first, and just keep refining. Once you feel like you got it, start to add in those details.